Welcome to the 29th edition of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. It is the 11th episode of Season 3. We are the show that compares and contrasts Fallout experiences through a lively roundtable discussion by playing through the same quest with characters who have been randomly assigned drastically different attributes. Welcome, everyone. And we'll have a special howdy tonight to our super mutant pals, Strong, Lily, Marcus, and Fox. I hope you guys are doing great out there in the wasteland. Tonight, we're going to be covering two more of our fascinating quests from the Tales of the Commonwealth mod by Chris Takahashi. Tonight, this is Pat kicking us off here. I am joined in the show by Leon. Leon, how you doing tonight?
Good. How about you?
Doing great, thanks. Ray is in the house tonight. Ray, what's up?
Doing great. Thanks, Pat.
And Andrew is here, of course. Andrew, how is things in Indiana tonight?
Oh, just muggy as shit, Pat. It's great.
It's a beautiful night here in New York. It's lovely.
It's like,
Give it a rest, Andrew.
Yeah. I mean,
I'll give you some muggy.
Toe to toe with anyone in the country besides Florida, so I'm not going to be able to touch Ray. But when we were just out in the Philly Pod Fest, I was kind of rolling my eyes when you guys were all like, "Oh God, it is so hot and humid in Philly," going on. Like, yeah, come on, Philly boys, grow a set. You've got nothing on us.
Amateurs. I'm in Texas, so
yeah. Texas and Georgia got us all beat by a mile. Yeah, so thanks for inviting us all in. Pat, how are you doing this evening, sir?
Doing okay. Like I told you as we were getting ready for the show, I'm a little out of sorts. Haven't had a chance to game. I left myself be sucked in from my roundtable duties. I was dorping around with the PlayStation. So I was what was I doing? Oh yeah, I was actually set myself a little challenge on the PlayStation. I don't ever do challenge builds. I just do derpy little builds. But this one I decided I'm doing the no perks challenge, no perks run.
Can you explain a challenge build to me?
So yeah, just to complete the game or some set of objectives, complete the game, do Far Harbor, do Nuka World, whatever, with some specific limitations on your gameplay. So Weirdest Builds, a Twitch streamer I talk about all the time. A lot of other Twitch streamers do challenges in all kind of games. He does just these whacked out challenges in Fallout and Skyrim, and I don't usually do challenges because I'm not good at video games. But I decided I would give the no perks run a challenge. So on the PlayStation that I got on Amazon Prime Day, I'm doing a no perks run, and it was actually inspired by both. Laura and Kara both saying that they didn't realize when they first played the game that you could get perks without having your special built up. So I decided I'm going to give that a try. So I'm only taking special points, and I'm playing on modded survival. So I'm playing on survival with fast travel and quick save, but otherwise on unmodded. So unmodded, I'm not letting myself have companions. So no other restrictions. I can take all the drugs I want. I can do all the settlement building I want, whatever. But I can't take perks and I can't do companions.
So what's the end game there? Just to reach level 70 to be?
No. I'm going to be happy if I beat the Institute.
Oh, okay.
Or actually, I don't know. I'm going to main quest line. I have not decided. I'm actually thinking I might do the Institute. I haven't done any. I haven't freed Preston Garvey. I haven't saved Dance. I haven't found the railroad. So I've done none of the main quest lines. I think I'm at level like roughly 15 or so, and it's hard because no commando, no Iron Fist, no rifleman, no gunslinger. It's hard killing those as your monsters level up around you. It is tough killing them. I wouldn't got spray and pray. I figured that might help levelize things a little bit. That old Hobag cricket. So
be nice to cricket. That it just makes us realize how much more badass Kara and Laura are for playing that way.
That's right. No. Huge respect for that. But anyway, so I figured it was fun. It would be fun to do a little bit. Now, of course, I'm playing with mods on, so I can't get any achievements. But I figure out what they are, and I'm not doing the PlayStation for achievements. I just wanted to get used to the PlayStation controls and everything before playing Horizon Zero Dawn.
You said no mods.
No. I am doing mods. I'm not
Oh.
doing
And
companions or perks.
personal opinions of PlayStation mods? Are they total?
So there's just the basic cheater mods that let you do fast travel. I mean those work. Those don't use any weird assets or anything. They're tiny little mods. I am doing a little save mod that's pretty slick. That's one that lets you craft a grenade that is a sleeping bag or a tent. So it's an immersive way to get saving in survival mode, because you make the quote unquote grenade out of cloth at a chemistry station, and you chuck the grenade, and wherever it lands, it pops up a tent, the Far Harbor tent or a sleeping bag, either one.
It's a pop tent instead of pup tent.
That's right. There are, yeah. So anyway, that's a pretty fun immersive way to do that. There was another one that I tried that in the Xbox that did a bedroll, and it was actually, you could, if I remember right, I think you could pick it back up, and I had trouble with that one because it was a little more finicky about how it landed. Like if you didn't throw it like on the level ground, sometimes it wouldn't deploy correctly. So I stopped using that, and I just started doing a quick save mod. But I thought this little mod is not bad. And then there's what is the other one? I haven't been at home all week, so I don't have any notes or anything. There's another one. Oh shit! I downloaded about 5 mods. Two of them, a couple of them just for survival. But there's a settlement scrapping mod that lets you scrap your junk and dead bodies and stuff. And there's multiple kinds of those mods. This particular one though, it works pretty well. So that was nice. My sanctuary is really pretty.
You're finding mods for PlayStation to not be too ultra limiting.
No, I mean there's no you can't do any textures or anything like that. So there's not that kind of stuff. You can't add the assets. So well, actually, I take that there are quest mods. I have not found one to test yet, but there are quest mods on the PlayStation. They could not do a Tales from the Commonwealth style where they're adding sound and all that stuff, because Sony won't let them do.
So it's all text. It'd be all text based then.
Yeah, it'd be like you could do or they can recycle audio files that are inherent in the game, which Takahashi does in Tales, right? The character, the Soul Survivors dialogue is cribbed from other places in the game.
It has to be, even though I'm like, sometimes I catch her saying a line in Tales where I'm like, where the fuck is that applicable? Why on earth would she have said that? Well, that means Chris has just been digging in the back dialogue and finding old scraps of stuff that she probably wouldn't say normally, and then he's back writing.
Yeah. Well, that's something I found when I was looking for mods. On Nexus, there's not only mods, there's also tools for mod authors. Ray, you probably have used, since you're actually writing some mods. But there's like an Excel file you can download with like all the character player characters dialogue dumped into a text file, so you can like search through it and find dialogue that you can recycle.
Yeah, that's probably a couple pages long, huh?
Yeah, no shit.
Lord, there's like 40,000 lines of dialogue or something.
Yeah.
See, many Christmas.
So anyway, that was me. That was my bad. I got sucked into playing my little dumb little PlayStation challenge rather than doing my job. I'm a bad roundtabler.
Oh, you're just fun. Hey, Ray, what's been going on?
Oh, not too much. Just I started a new build too with a one endurance character.
Oh my gosh, you're getting your ass handed to you all over the place.
Well, yeah, not too bad, but just getting started on it. A bloat fly in Sanctuary killed me.
Of course, yeah. You have like 0 HP on a one endurance character, right? It's
97.
Yeah, you gotta find your power armor pretty quickly. Or
no, I'll just be all stealth.
Oh, there you go. Sneak around. That's cool. Great. Leon, what's been going on, man?
Nothing much. I started a Fallout 3 game, but I remembered that I hate the Metro, so I kind of put that on pause. I built my for the New Vegas Roundtable, when I had built my character, she's just sitting still because I also started my current Roundtable character, Olivia. She kind of went dark with her role play, and so I decided I want to kind of cleanse my palette and play a good guy. And I've never done the Minuteman, and you've talked so much about a Minuteman playthrough. I decided that I'm going to play a kind of paladin type character who is going to get all the settlements in the Commonwealth to be the Minuteman and do everything Minuteman and try not to get involved with any of the other, play factions or anything like that. And so that and was kind of started that character and got like 2 settlements in and just kind of playing that right now.
One of my favorite things, just I know I go over it over and over, but that artillery. I love that the ranged artillery where you throw the grenades and then you run and then watch your enemies just get blown to smithereens behind you as you run. It's like an action movie, guys. It's really fun.
Well, I've done playthroughs before where I've had been the general of the Minutemen, but I've never done one where that was my main focus. That's actually the one faction I have not completed the story with.
You can get all like 30 how many ever settlements there are, and you can go over to the island and even Nuka World. You can Minutemen. I don't think they get sent to Nuka World, right? They do get sent to Far Harbor. As far
You're talking about the Radiant quests?
Yeah.
If it's settlement related, I think that's right. But you can get Radiant quests in Nuka World for like killing coursers and shit.
Oh, nice. That's great.
Yeah.
Minutemen forever. Speaking of Minutemen, Pat, I noticed when all this news of the new Fallout Crate stuff coming out here from Loot Crate, everybody, the pre-order just got announced today, opened up yesterday maybe. People can go and get that ordered and have their own cool merchandise from that particular company. But then I noticed, the theme for this time is Vault Tech, so there'll probably be Vault Tech theme stuff in there. I was thinking, oh man, I was going to get one. If I want it to be one, maybe I should hold off on Vault Tech and wait until they announce the Minutemen box, and I'll totally get the Minutemen box. Because Pat, I think you said you were maybe thinking about buying into this the Fallout Crate stuff.
Yeah, I went ahead and did the subscription. I figured I don't collect a lot of stuff, but I figure there'll be some fun stuff in there, and I'm sure we can have some fun with it here on the show to add it to some contest giveaways or something. So yeah, so I went ahead and did that. There's it's $35, I think, plus shipping and handling, and you get like a couple bucks off if you prepay for a year. And the bummer, the first one's not gonna come out to December, so that kind of sucks. But I guess a great way to look at it is just
pre-order for now. Yeah, it's not shipping till December, and even when it does start shipping, your subscription only gets you every other month. It's not an every month subscription.
Yeah, that's right. It's 6. Yeah, so the subscription is 6 boxes.
Yeah,
and they ship in even months. And what is it? I think there's always a shirt. Is it always a T-shirt or always an apparel item? Whatever. Yeah, and it's 4 to 6 items, they said. And what is it? If you get all 6, you get I think it's a power armor figure. I think it's is a bonus item like that's in each one. So if you get all 6, you can build a little set of power armor.
I'm not exactly sure. I was just kind of browsing around the site, but from what I remember, there's one piece of power armor in each of the 6 boxes totaling, and you can build one whole power armor suit if you subscribe.
I think that's right. Yeah.
But I think you only get the power armor pieces if you subscribe. I think they only throw that in, right? If you subscribe.
I'm not sure, because that would kind of be shitty. Like if you just bought one box and like you got one piece of power armor, that would kind of be lame.
I thought it was you got the power armor thing in the box, but if you did the subscription, you got like a USB hub or something like that.
That is correct, but so I'm not sure about the power armor. Is it like if you just buy one crate, you get one of your 4 items as a piece of power armor that I don't know. Anyway, we're your mileage may vary, listener. It's up to you whether you want to do the Loot Crate thing.
You did the stuff though, Pat?
Yeah, I went ahead and got it. I'm enough of an idiot. I just went ahead and subscribed. They'll probably be okay. But
nice.
I'm going to see if I can see Fallout Crate. Yeah, and Andrew, the first one's Vault Tech. So I'm wondering what Yeah, probably be. What do you think? Minutemen, BOS. I'm sure we'll get one.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably Raiders, right? You think Raiders will probably get one?
Might get one. Railroad will get. I think each of the 4 factions.
But what's there to give for like the Institute though? I mean,
what do you mean?
I guess you can get like the Institute, like so.
There's all sorts
Raiders,
of
so Raiders and BOS.
Intelligence bobblehead.
I mean, okay, but think about lore, right?
Little
Raiders and the Brotherhood of Steel have like multiple lore. There's a lot they can choose from every game. Vault Tech they can choose from every game.
Yeah.
But the Minuteman and the Institute are just one game, right? And what would they send you to be in a quote unquote Institute box?
Well, I mean, okay, so I'm narrow-minded, just of course thinking in reference of Fallout 4. If you're including like New Vegas and Fallout 3, the Legion, I guess, plays a pretty big role in both.
One of their advertising pictures is well, no, I guess I guess that's Strong. I looked too quickly. I guess.
How about the Super Mutants? That'd be fun.
Oh wait, no, actually, they're teasing it here. Okay, so.
Oh, we have some.
There's a piece to so there's. Oh, okay. They're teasing. Okay, one of the things, maybe they've added this recently. I don't remember seeing this earlier. They tell you what you're going to get. So crate 1, you get the power armor head. Crate 2, you get the torso. Crate 3, you get the arms. Crate 4, you get the legs. Crate 5, it looks like maybe the stand or something, and then crate 6, it looks like they give you a little dog meat to go with the power armor guy. So I guess it's the player. I guess it's the player character in power armor.
Did they tell you which crate is associated with which theme?
They did not. They've only announced Vault Tech as the first one.
And do they announce that beforehand, or do you just kind of have to guess after the first one?
Well, sucker written across my head. I went ahead and subscribed. So I have no. I'm going in blind. I have no idea what I'm getting.
I've never subscribed to Loot Crate or purchased anything through them, but I think from advertisements that I've seen, I think they are pretty open about what the themes are before they.
I think that's right. That's kind of what I sense I get is they'll probably put each one up for individual order, a few, months or whatever in advance. Sherry seems to be our Loot Crate expert, so maybe if she's listening and current, she can.
Thomas Dale. He's a subscriber. He was telling me he was a member of Loot Socks and Loot Pets, and I was just like, wow, man, he's got all sorts of pop culture memorabilia hanging out at his house probably by now. What do you do with all that stuff when you just do you?
I don't buy that. I don't buy that stuff. So I have one bobblehead and then a couple of T-shirts. Well, I did buy. I do have the. I have the Pip-Boy and the mini nuke.
I'm not a huge figurine statues kind of.
Me neither.
Actually, I unwrapped a couple of those Funko mini mystery vinyl figures, and I have the little Grim Reaper one, and he's actually really adorable. So I don't have a ton of statues and stuff. I have the agility bobblehead too. And a little power armor coin bank. That's just the power armor helmet. It's really kind of cute, but yeah, I'm not much of a statue guy. I love T-shirts though. I'll buy every damn Fallout T-shirt I see in the store. I don't see much anymore though. They're getting few and far between. You gotta go to like Kohl's or something. Sometimes they have even socks and ties. It's weird. Yeah. Oh gosh, so guys, we got some stuff to get into tonight. We got what I incorrectly thought was the last raider quest of Nuka World called Power Play, which Ray and Leon will help us through. But Ray, I had a question for you regarding my incorrectness in the schedule making. We will also get into a Tales from the Commonwealth quest called Patriots, which will be great. If there's time later on, we could get into some King of the Bunker Hill. We've got a couple of shout outs we need to get into, an email from John Pappas. We've got some quest to announce next week and a couple of news items. So we'll just get into the show here. Why don't we go ahead and start with Power Play? And Ray, I will ask you here right off the bat. when I was making the schedule, I, for some reason, stopped at Power Play, assuming that was our last quest. And then doing my notes today, I found another quest that continued after Power Play called Cleaning House, which I did not know. It just skipped my observation for some reason. Did you by chance see Cleaning House launch? About that quest.
No. So, oh, okay. Yeah, it's buried in the Radiant quests.
Okay, it's kind of a special situational type quest, I think. When I was reading the notes about it, I was just curious if
it didn't pop up in my list.
It does. Okay, great.
No, I've got a amoral combat, so that's where somebody's gone through the gauntlet that I haven't done. But cleaning house did not pop up.
The cleaning house did not pop up. Interesting. Evidently.
Oh, you know why?
Why? Because you gave him all to one?
No, because I killed him before I went to the power plant.
Okay. All right. So speaking of the power plant, let's just go ahead and roll right into power play, Ray. Why don't you give us a little reminder about what sort of character build you're working with and how it sort of helped you through your journey of power play. And Leon, please feel free to hop on in and add any suggestions and things about your adventure and character too. I did not play this quest, so gentlemen, have fun.
All right, so Max has the throat slicer, and so that was kind of the weapon of choice for this particular attack. So I got a message to go back to Nuka World, and so I went back, and as soon as I did, the pack and the operators were shooting it out. And I always forget the name of the other group. Disciples, right. So the disciples were the ones that had gone hostile to me. And so I go and meet with Mags and William and Mason, and Mags and William were like, "Oh yeah, we're totally cool with you," even though I had not given them anything anywhere. None of the park went to them, and none of the Commonwealth.
So is it random which? So okay, you're being summoned back to Nuka World, and then when you get there, one of the three factions is automatically pissed off.
Hostile to you, yep.
And
they're hostile to everybody.
Is that a random event, or is that controlled by your previous actions?
It's controlled by your previous actions. It's whoever you've given the least amount of stuff to. So, like, if you want a specific gang to go rogue on you, so to speak, like with me, I gave 3 of the parks to the the operators, and 2 of them to the disciples. That way, the pack was the one that went rogue on me. So you can kind of manipulate which gang you want to fight against.
And what if you give all 5 to one? Ray, did you give all 5 to one?
Yeah,
pack?
so I gave everything to the pack. So everything in Nuka World and everything in the Commonwealth.
But it was the disciples who are mad, not the disciples and
the operators.
The operators. I would think that if you chose just one, that those other 2 would be pissed off, and they would both be hostile.
Yeah, that was kind of what I was worried about. I wasn't quite sure how that played out, but it didn't work out that way. So, I told the pack and the operators that the only way to deal with this was just to kill Nisha. So, they were like, okay, cool, we like that answer, and off we went. But before I got to that point, I'd gone through the park. I needed to unload some stuff at Fizztop, and so the disciples were all over the place attacking me. So I went into their to their lair at Fizz Top Grill, and there's two high level characters in there, Savoy and Dixie, and so everybody else I had killed with one or two strokes of the throat slicer, but I unloaded a whole flurry of 8 chops into Savoy and only took him down about a third. So I knew I had to switch to plan B. So,
whoops.
I always find some place where I can, keep in cover and, still have a good field of fire. So I got tucked in behind some crates, and so just started plugging him with my shotgun and tossing grenades, and took those two out. And so that's why I didn't get the that cleaning house quest, because I had already done it before it launched, and so I guess it just didn't it didn't spawn.
Yeah.
But I got some nice loot. Savoy's got one of those helmets with the spear sticking out of the top of it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of cool.
Oh, that is pretty neat. So like the sort of World War I looking.
No, it looks kind of like a rabbit if you get the right angle, and it can only see two of the spikes.
That's cool. Lord knows I like a fancy hat.
Yes, indeed.
Speaking of which, no, we'll get to it in Patriots here in just a little bit. Fancy hat.
So I did finally take the mascot head off of Gage that we had taken from the kid at the bowling alley.
Oh, great. The bear missing an eye or something, right?
Yeah.
I love the mascot head.
Yeah. Well, especially when it's on Gage. Pretty funny. So headed off to the power plant, and it's kind of a mazy, windy way through, and I'd kicked on VATS for something and got a message that Vans couldn't tell me where to go.
Oh, interesting.
So the one time I accidentally used it didn't work.
How do you engage Vans?
So you use it in VATS when you fire VATS when there's no enemy. And it'll make a little green line. The direction you need to go.
I've never actually used it before.
It works just like clairvoyance in Skyrim.
Yeah. Gives you a smoke trail to follow or something.
Yeah, it's a green, right? Like a green, or is it your Pip? Or is it your Pip-Boy color, right? I forget, or your HUD color. I forget.
That's probably your HUD color.
I'm not sure, but it's green for me because that is.
I used it in one character in the regular Boston. It actually was. I was doing one of those quests where you're like going through like multiple levels of like jumping from skyscraper to skyscraper among like falling down buildings and stuff. And actually, I was doing it just to see if it was helpful, and basically it wasn't. But there was a couple of times when it actually was a little bit useful. But yeah, definitely not worth a perk point typically.
Oh, I've got about 10 or 11 set aside.
What is it with you? Use your perks, Jesus.
Yeah. So I did discover that the fourth level of Fortune Finder, when they explode into a spray of caps.
Yes.
So I finally killed somebody on hard ground, and the caps are on the ground.
Individually or in a pod?
Well, visually they're individually, but you click on one and you pick up the whole thing. It's just like when you've
Gildenhall Barrow.
Well, the bottle cap mine.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I've I don't know if you know this about me, Ray. I've set very, very few mines in the game. Maybe none might be in.
Mines are fun. Bottle cap mines are a lot of fun. They make a big boom.
probably the same.
Bottle cap mines were the nemesis of Maximilian. He could stand on top of a frag mine, but if he was 10 feet away from a bottle cap, it shredded him.
Well, aren't they like 300 or 400 damage in the bottle cap mine? They're like they shred you. Yeah.
They're like roughly twice as much as frag mines. I think the Nuka mine is the toughest, or maybe it's plasma. One of those two is the toughest single one, but bottle cap mines are way up there.
Do the electric mines, I forget what they're called, do any damage? Do the pulse mines do any damage to like raiders? Or do they do actually no damage to them? Are those specific?
What kind of armor they're wearing? Less if they're wearing leather.
Yeah. Oh, leather prevents electricity. You're right.
Yeah. So that it does like extra damage to robots. I think.
Robots is the one it's okay. But it does do damage to raiders.
And then plasma does ballistic and electrical damage. Right.
Is it radiation or electric for plasma?
It might be. I forget. Electric. I thought it was.
It's lumped in as energy.
Yeah, that's right. Energy. Yeah,
I keep saying electric. Yeah, I mean energy.
It's a lightning bolt.
Talking like an idiot. Yeah. It's great. Sorry, we cut you off, Ray. You were weaving your way through the power plant. When you show up to the power plant, what sort of attack scheme are you going out with your throat slicer? You say you have throat slicer. That means you're mainly a melee character. Are you like really?
Yeah. So he just kind of dashes in, and since this character doesn't have high enough agility to get blitz.
So you have to be close. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be close. So I just go sprinting in because.
Oh wow, that is really.
I've got huge endurance. So with clothing, he's got endurance of 13.
That's great.
So yeah, so he just goes and sprints up to him, and when I get close enough in VATS, I hit him, and the regular characters, the NPCs, just drop after one or two hits.
Wow, that's great. Is it a? It's not a combat knife. Is it a switchblade? I guess. Throat slicer.
No, they have a name for it. It's the kind of knife that the disciples carry. I know, it's one of those fancy knife names.
What's the perk on
it? So that one.
It is a legendary Disciples Blade with 25 points of bleeding damage. So Disciples Blade is the thing that it is, and it has bleeding. So bleeding is good because it stacks if you don't kill it. If you don't kill the thing with one swipe, which with Throat Slicer you often can because it's really nasty.
Well, yeah. So Maximilian with the strength of 12, the Throat Slicer does 326 damage per slice. And it is a fast weapon.
Holy crap.
Does he have max big leagues?
Yeah, max big leagues and rooted.
Yeah.
What's the effectively the difference between bleeding damage and poison damage?
Well, poison is only 3 points, I think. And poison but I think it's 3 points a second for 10 seconds. So so when you have a poisoning blade, you stab something, you get the thing that gets poisoned has that kind of weird yellowy web effect on them, and it lasts like 10 seconds. So bleeding damage it does 25. Well, I don't know. Let me look at Pigman's blade. I don't know if it's described differently.
But they're essentially losing HP over a determined amount of time. Both of them, they could be different levels of HP and different levels of time, but they're essentially the same.
Well, I think So bleeding does 25 points, and I don't know if it's instantly or no, it's not instantly because you can see their health bar going down over a few seconds.
That would make sense with bleeding,
Yeah, and robots and turrets can bleed. I rationalize it by assuming that, like, the effect, like, causes, like, their circuits to deteriorate or whatever. But you can go up and
Hydraulic.
stab a turret with a bleeding weapon, and you can see its health go down.
Does a turret count electric sheep, Pat?
No, but it dreams of them. And then poison. I'm not sure if you can poison a turret or a robot. They might be immune to poison, but it lasts longer, but it only does 3.
That's weird. Interesting.
Yeah, but when you're when you're doing 350 damage,
it doesn't matter.
Whatever it was per slice, nothing really lasts long enough to bleed out.
Yeah. Well, it's fast too. I mean, because there's the jetpack baseball bat that does more damage, but it's slow. So it does more in one whack, but because it's I think Throat Slicer is just really OP.
Yeah,
I play with it a lot, but it's OP.
I'm trying to
Cito's Shiny Slugger is 25 points more damage than the Throat Slicer, but it's slow, so you don't get nearly as many hits.
Yeah.
I'm trying to rush through New Vegas real quick before we start up the New Vegas Roundtable here in a few weeks. And one thing I have noticed is that when they show you the damage on your weapon in your Pip-Boy menu, it also flashes and shows you the damage per second as if that's actually the more important stat.
And it is.
Dennis always says that that's the more important thing. He
is correct. And I don't know why they took that out in Fallout 4. I mean, it still applies as a concept.
Yeah,
it's still important, but they took it out as an explicit, displayed on screen.
Yeah. I was just gonna say I was making a note to bring up some differences between Fallout New Vegas and 4. That I need you guys right there. I need you guys to teach me about that if there's time later on in the show. So Ray, you're melting through raiders like butter. Are they all disciples or?
Yeah, they're all disciples. And so Mags and William and Mason are going along with you, so they're kind of helping out. I did get myself a little behind the group. I was trying to make a leap across to check out a little office building to see if there was any good loot, because the place really doesn't have much good loot.
Yeah.
And fell down and ended up back at the very beginning.
Oh, whoops.
I had to wind my way back through. So you do come across a locked cage that's locked with a advanced lock terminal that has power armor behind it.
Oh, nice. An XO1 or just level depending on yours?
Couldn't really tell. I couldn't get it open because I've got no hacking.
You got shit for hacking.
No. If it's not novice, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
So
I've become.
You can start calling me a cheater now, though. For Fallout New Vegas, I found a mod that automatically opens terminals that you have, the right level for.
Oh, there you go.
So you don't have to go through the mini game.
Yeah, it's I used to really like it and used to think I was really, really good at it. Like, oh man, I'm such a word sleuth. Look at me figuring out this puzzle all over the place. And I don't know what on earth happened, but I am super shitty at it now. I just take forever at terminals now. I've taken to just like making sure I have Nick Valentine with me at all times. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and in New Vegas, you have to be careful because that is a permanent lockout.
Permanent? If you
that's correct. You only get, if you get locked out, you're locked out forever.
That's not fair. So that means that they can't ever put anything behind that password that will prevent you from progressing through the actual storyline, though. So they're not going to put anything super important behind a terminal that could lock you out forever.
There might, I don't know for sure. There might be like side quests or things that could be broken, but yeah, you're not going to break the main game with hacking. And it makes the perk. There's a perk. You can take a perk that gives you a second chance at locked out terminals, and so in Fallout, in Fallout New Vegas, that perk is actually worth something. In Fallout 4, it's worthless because there's the same perk. The fourth level of hacker in Fallout 4 is also available as a standalone perk in Fallout New Vegas.
Nice. Ray, you said the other factions were following you. Was it just the leaders?
Yeah, just the leaders.
You probably didn't test this out because you're not obsessed like me. Were they actually following you, Ray?
No.
Did you fast travel away? I always test that when someone starts to follow me. I'm like, ooh, are you a new temporary follower? Can I fast travel and have you follow me? Ooh, let's go test this out. Did you step outside?
No, and remarkably, I didn't even test my typical thing. I didn't kill either one of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was my next question. What happens when you step into the room and slaughtered everyone?
Yeah, I was kind of rushing through, so I didn't really take the time.
Yeah.
But so after you pass the power armor, you head up onto the roof, and then that's where the real fight is. So that's where Nisha was, and then also there was a legendary disciple up there as well, along with a couple of cannon fodders.
Yeah.
So got Nisha down first, then the legendary. It was kind of cool. The legendary actually dropped something I found useful.
Ooh, nice.
Great.
So he had a legendary serrated Chinese officer sword, so called the Lucky Sword. And so that one does 2 times crit damage, and the meter fills 15% faster. And then I was carrying a troubleshooter's serrated Chinese officer sword, which was handy in the Galaxy Zone. But this one also has 26 points of energy damage.
Nice.
So once you take all them out, you get the keys off Anisha, hit the button to start the power plant up, and fireworks start going off all around the park.
I love that scene. It reminds me so much of Pat. You'll remember this, the Sierra Madre.
Yep.
It's really nice. They did a great job on that.
I agree. It is a nice scene.
Yeah, and they didn't skimp either. It goes on for quite a while.
Yeah, and then you get your little speech from Gage, and that's always fun. On my playthrough, I went through it a little bit differently. You were doing melee. I did it. Oh, hold on. No, sorry. I did it with all ranged, and me and Kate went in with our power armor, and pretty much we just cleaned house. I had my shotgun, and she had her shotgun, and I had righteous authority for long range, and it was just bang bang. Everybody died, and by that time, I had my jetpack leaded power armor, and so I was just jumping around to get up to the power plant. And then once I got in, they was all close range, so all kinds of dead pack. For me, it was the pack that rebelled against me.
So once you wrap that up and make your decision as far as what you're going to do with Gage, you get the perks from the two factions that fought with you.
Yeah, it's a Ace Operator, Chosen Disciple, or Pack Alpha, depending on which of the gangs sided with you and which one went rogue. Which is funny because two of them are good for melee and one is for kind of stealthy. Which one did you get again, Ray?
So I got the operator, so you're 10% harder to see in shadows, and thought I wrote that down, but here's I did not.
Oh, I see. Hold on. I looked it up. You deal 25% more damage with silenced weapons, and stealth is also increased in shadows to 10% less visibility, equivalent to half the effect per rank of the sneak perk. Yeah, that's for the operators. And then the one I usually get, the one I got, is a Chosen Disciple, which is kills made by your melee weapons will restore some of your action points. And then the one I never get because I just don't like the pack was Pack Alpha. Damage resistance and damage dealt are increased by 25% while unarmed or using melee weapons. Ooh, I can see where you would like that for your character.
Yeah, that, of course. now I don't have anybody left to fight, so.
That sounds like Alexander. No more worlds to conquer. I'm sure the Raiders are so sympathetic with that.
Yeah.
We just gotta do more Radiant quests.
Yeah, I never. Andrew was talking earlier about cleaning house after power play. I never got cleaning house either, and I didn't attack the pack beforehand. So, but I'd never given the pack any of the settlements out in the Commonwealth. So I think you may have to actually give whatever faction rebels against you a settlement before you get that quest. I didn't even know it was a quest until Andrew mentioned it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's buried in the list.
Did you when you went up and talked to Mags and in your case Mason, did you nettle them? Because when I do it, it was Nisha and Mags and her brother. And one of the options is like, Jesus, you guys are like a bunch of squabbling kids. And then Nisha's like gets all offended. And it's like, whatever, just, okay, I'll go kill Mason.
No, I just played it straight up on that one.
Nice. So, are you guys cool with how we're wrapping up power play there? Well, at what point does it actually complete the quest?
I think when you hit the power button. If not, it's right after that when you talk to Gage. I can't remember which though.
Yeah.
Does it cash in probably around 500 XP, I'm assuming, or is it a lot more since it's the last quest? Well, last quest, quote unquote.
I think it's 400.
Well, and depending on your intelligence level, of course. Yeah, so base of 400 or so. Yeah. Great. So thank you, Ray and Leon, for guiding us through power play and cleaning house. That is evidently some quest that it could or could not, depending on how you play, spin off after that. And it's the quest that the Raider faction that went rogue on you when you come back. Like they were saying, if those guys have any factions or have any settlements settled by that specific group out in the Commonwealth, then that is what that quest is, cleaning houses. You have to then go out and clean house and take care of the rest of the rogue settlements and basically kill everyone there and then resettle it for, I don't know, I guess a different Raider faction or Minutemen. Probably not Minutemen. Probably different Raider faction, I'm assuming.
Yeah, the Minutemen. Yeah, Preston is pissed off at this point.
Yeah. Can you kill Preston ever? Is that ever part of this?
I don't think you could ever kill Preston. I think he stays essential forever and ever.
They should have written that in. That would have been fun to have an ultimate duel at the end. Right? Come on.
I think that Preston would be dead in a lot of people's games.
If they wrote that in specifically only for if you played Nuka World in a very specific way, then at the end you could kill Preston. You know how many people would be rushing to buy that DLC? Written that in.
I might actually even go and get him out of the museum for that.
Well, you've also built a cage for him, Ray. That doesn't count. That's not very nice. You know, put him in some sort of cage over there. Yeah. So great. Thanks for that nice look at power play. Leon, what sort of main attack style did you use? Ray mentioned that he was lots of run and gun, but without the gun, more run and stab sort of guy. What was your sort of attack method there, Leon?
Righteous Authority for long range, and shotguns for me and Kate for up close and personal, and full suits of XL1 power armor for me and Kate.
You and Kate, that's great. It was Kate, your assigned lady. Did you guys go to full Lover's Embrace level and all that?
Oh yeah. She was. I got her. I originally got Curie for a while because I like Curie, and then I went with Kate because she was my assigned love interest. And once I got her, I just stuck with her. I like her character anyways, and having the shotgun, it just fits perfect with her because I think that's what she gets to start.
Yeah, she started with the shotgun.
Yeah.
Double barrel, maybe.
Yeah, that's right. I think she's got a double barrel.
If I forget what her perk is. Does it have something to do with drug resistance or the opposite? Are you more prone to drug? Do they last longer? I don't remember. What is her thing with chems? Her perk doesn't it have something to do with chems?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I actually don't remember off the top of my head. It's been so long since I actually looked at what her perk does.
Well, don't sweat that at all. Before we roll on to our next quest for the evening, let me see if I can pull up. Yeah, here I have it here. I'd like to take this opportunity just for a real quick second to give a shout out to a special fella, a brand new face group participant, John Pappas. Thank you so much for hopping in, John. He has written us a very nice email, and I think Ray actually said that he had some emails pulled up. So,
yeah.
Thank you so much for writing into the show, John. Mad shout out. I'm sorry you have a long commute, but I'm glad that we could help you out, distract you a little bit from the torture that is the highway. So, Ray, let's hear a little bit from John.
All right. Hello, Mr. Andrew, Mr. Pat, Miss Kara, and whoever else gets this. John here. Y'all rock. Just today I caught up with the latest episode. I played the original Fallout for almost 20 years. Of course, I was addicted right from the start. Many playthroughs later, here's Fallout 2. Again, many playthroughs of 2. Here's nothing. Fast forward to February of this year, and I came across the article of the upcoming 20-year anniversary of Fallout's release. Immediately, I thought about how old that made me feel. I'm 48 right now, whippersnapper. Haven't played PC games since my Fallout days, no consoles. But after reading that article, I was curious about the new Fallout games. That led me to the Fallout feed. A week later, I purchased an Xbox and Fallout 4. I commute for an hour and a half each way to work. Y'all have made that drive a shitload better. Thanks for the most righteously awesome podcast. I can't wait for the new Vegas Roundtable. Count me in. Rock and roll, my podcast universe friends.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much for the very kind email there, Mr. Pappas, and welcome to the Facebook group. And shameless plug, everyone, please out there, listeners, go ahead and join on in the Facebook group. We're a good group of people. We keep the riffraff out. Nice nice cultivated.
You keep letting me in though.
Yeah, well, we've had to kick you out a few times, Ray, but we just have to abuse you for your spreadsheet making abilities. We have to let you in every once in a while. And while we're throwing out shout outs here left and right, Jeremy McDaniel, thank you for hanging out in the YouTube chat tonight, man. Thanks for stopping by.
Andrew, we're getting a little of that crackle thing going on there.
Oh, really?
I think it's coming through your mic.
Might have been me. I just had a big coughing fit.
Are you still hearing it right now, Pat?
I am. I don't.
Okay. Guys, I'm going to hop off and then hop right back on, but do some entertaining for our YouTube people.
Well, I figured out what Kate's perk is real quick. It's called Trigger Rush, and it's the player character's action points regenerate 25% faster if the hit points value is below 25% of its maximum. But they say on the wiki that it regenerates 50% faster, actually. But my character very rarely gets down that low to below 25%, so I don't think I've ever actually had her perk actually do anything good for it.
Are you still popping, Pat?
That sounds much better.
Great. Sorry about that. Thank you for pointing that out. And
yeah.
I can always clip out whatever. You YouTube people just got another free weird little mid-show.
I'm hearing it. It's coming back. It's not bad. Whatever. Don't worry about it, Andrew. It's not super bad. Maybe it's just a little whatever. You can listen to it later, and you with your audio skills, I'm sure you'll figure out what's going on. It's not too bad. Don't worry about it.
All right, I'm gonna hop off one more time. I'll be right back.
Yeah. So Leon, you're talking about never letting your hit points get that. I'm the same way. Like the one like Nerd Rage, for example. I'm playing around with Nerd Rage and not one of my Roundtable characters, but another one, and I'm so obsessive about keeping my health up. I don't ever have Nerd Rage kick in except like if I like just get really blasted in one hit by a Death Claw or something.
Yeah, there's a lot of perks like that where you got to get to a certain level, or what's his name, Hancock, his perk where you got to get a bunch of radiation before his perk kind of kicks in. I'm like, I'm never gonna do that.
I'm the same way. Yeah.
So it's kind of like a wasted perk.
I had a whole playthrough that I did through the Fudge Muppet builds. I played the Children of Adam character, and that was the basis of the whole character, was that you pretty much had to keep yourself at about 75% radiation level at all times in order to actually take full advantage of all the perks that they had built into the build. It was a pretty dangerous way to play.
Yeah,
so you get up to higher levels. Yeah.
Andrew, that is one. I don't know if you've noticed it yet. That is one where Fallout 4 is radically different from both New Vegas and 3. The way the radiation works, where it chews away at your base hit points in 4.
I think the way it works in 4 makes a lot more sense. What does it actually do?
So in 3 and in New Vegas, it's a separate stat. So you can be at full hit points, but your rads can be like at 900, and you'll have like the red blinking rad meter. And if your rads get to 1,000, you die. You can have full hit points, but 1,000 rads.
Okay, so it actually will just kill you once you get to.
Yeah, so it'll definitely kill you, and you get bad effects. So it's not like you're getting a free pass with the rads, but it just works different.
Yeah. So it'll start taking away your special attributes as well, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Like you lose like endurance and health and strength and all that shit.
Yeah. There's all sorts of weird little differences that you mentioned, Pat. We'll get into those in a little bit, or in an upcoming episode. I'm starting to make a list of little things that I want to get into there. But thank you again, John Pappas, for the great email. And I have to say, extend another great shout out to Pat. I don't know how you came across this exactly, but you showed me a little Reddit thread, and a user named 32bit_browser. Shout out to that user. If you're in the Facebook group, please identify yourself, or if you follow us on Twitter, to give us a shout out, man, because you had a really nice comment and a recommendation for people in the thread to come check out our show. So we appreciate that greatly. And Pat, how did you just randomly stumble upon that?
There is a Twitter feed that automatically tweets out every topic for the Fallout Reddit subreddit.
And
so I just subscribe to that. So I see every topic that gets posted to the Fallout subreddit.
And you just happen to read the topic that was, hey, I want help with Fallout New Vegas. I've never played New Vegas. I need hip.
So I usually the topics are descriptive enough. I can tell, like, if it's somebody just bitching or if it's some stupid rumor, I ignore it. But if somebody's actually talking about especially New Vegas, because I figure, it's now that we're going to do the New Vegas Roundtable, it's if I see anything pop up in my Twitter feed that's about New Vegas, I jump on there and see what they're talking about. And that sometimes there'll be character ideas or role play ideas, or in this case, somebody's talking about getting into New Vegas for the first time.
Nice. So you liked the topic, so you click on the topic and then randomly.
And I just lurk. I don't post anything, so I'm not active. I use Reddit as kind of an aggregator thing. It's like Twitter. I don't post a ton on Twitter. I mostly use it for links and.
Is that like one of those
and stuff?
Serendipitous situations where you get goosebumps? You're like, oh, someone's talking about my podcast. My ears were burning before I clicked this link.
Oh man, it's the internet. Shit happens.
I just think that's really cool. Thanks a lot. Again, 32bit_browser. I mean, you're obviously a listener. Otherwise, you wouldn't know that we're about to do a New Vegas Roundtable. So shout out to you and identify yourself to us if you would. That's really great. So we got another quest to get through here. Patriots. Leon, I don't think you did it. Pat, you didn't do it either. I managed to shuffle through Patriots. Ray, I believe you did as well. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, well, you can help me through here with Patriots then. My character started out with pretty much a pretty average build across the board, except for perception was really low. And if you listen to the show at all, you know that I'm a sucker for perception. And that is one of the differences that I'd also like to discuss about New Vegas at a later time. But I'm a sucker for perception because that gives you greater accuracy in VATS, and I'm a VATS whore. And agility as well. I only started with like a 2 in perception, but it's already at 10, and then with clothing over 11 or 12, something like that. But again, this is my highest level character ever. This is a level 79 character named Susan, who resides in a vault number 97 and has an army of Mr. Wigglesworth style robots who help her. She's just bucked out into the wasteland to have some adventures. And my stats as they stand now, golly, I have like a 14 intelligence, 13 agility. The lowest one is luck. I started with a 3 of luck and I ended with a 3 of luck. And I did not bump up my strength either. Started with 6, ended with 6, but kept it. Everything else in between, the PECIAL, those are all maxed out and ready to go. I'm really interested, Pat, to try an all special run. Just to bump up all those, because it sounds really
painful.
Cool.
It's painful, but it's a challenge. I mean, I don't think I could possibly stand to do it on full survival because I die a lot. Because I mean, we've talked about it before. The game of survival is dealing out as much damage as you can before the other guy gets you.
Yeah,
and so that's why typically the damage dealing perks are a lot more useful than
level
the
strength perception,
then the defensive perks, right? So like I never take toughness, never ever, because while that 10 DT is kind of nice at low levels, by the time you get up to like level 20 or 30 or whatever, it's just worthless because
that really makes me wonder, Michelle, if you still listen to the show, your character Jennifer, you had over level 256 or 260 or something. You had this crazy high level character. How did you invest your perks? Did you have a mapped out pattern, or did you do all your perks first and then a mixture of special here, combo here? You know what I mean? If you're still listening, write us in an email and tell me how you mapped out, how you invested your perk points. So I'd be interested to hear how Jennifer did that.
By the end, he had them all, right? Because he
had every single one of them. I'm just interested if he was just filling out the specials at the end, or filling out, the useless perks. I'm wondering which
Well, he'd have to fill up his specials to get to all of the perks.
All of the perks. You're right. Okay, so I wasn't even thinking. So Ray, thank you for pointing out. Andrew's a dummy. Got to get those specials.
That's exactly what I was pointing out. But yeah, but like Pat was saying, so really, if you aren't maxed out on endurance, you're better off taking a point of endurance than you are in toughness or life giver, because each level of endurance gives you more hit points than either of those two perks.
Yeah.
Now, once you're maxed out at at 11 endurance, then you can take those to stack on top.
But investment wise, leveling up efficiency wise, you want your endurance.
Yeah, if you want to increase your toughness.
And high endurance gives you access to two really good. You got ghoulish and solar powered, which are both really good.
And Pat's a fan of solar power because you can. Was that the one you can run across the wasteland?
Yeah, well, you at the first dot of solar powered, you get +2 strength and +2 endurance during daylight hours. So that's really good for a melee character.
Oh, yeah, and there's an opposite for night hours too, right? Yeah.
That gives you perception and intelligence for being a night person. And then once you start getting, then the next dot of solar powered cures your hit points, and the third one I think cures your rads during daylight hours. So you basically just heal, just like walking around. Not infections, but your hit points and your radiation just like heal. So if you're playing, it's really good for survival, because if you're playing straight survival, you just like walk to your destination, and by the time you get there, you're fully healed and you have no rads.
Yeah, that's nice. Speaking of walking to your destination, Pat, my game is so extremely bugged now that I can't even fast travel anymore.
Imagine that. Oh, you poor baby with your 27 followers.
I'm limping to the finish line here, guys.
2 frames per second. Yeah.
I left a foot back around turn number 3. Turn number 4, I'm about to lose a leg here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it across the finish line, dragging myself by my fingernail or not.
No sympathy for me, Mr.
I'm just hoping that the next our last 2 quests are both Tales from the Commonwealth quests, and I'm just hoping that they're not like at opposite ends of the map. You know what I mean? I hope there's not a whole like running back and forth, because I can't fast travel anymore. And when you have 27 followers with you, things just get complicated when you're trying to book flights and travel.
Imagine that.
Gets complicated over here. But anyway, so I dragged this huge group of people over to the Old Corner bookstore the other day, right? And
which is a Chipotle in real life now, by the way. Yeah.
Is it really?
It's a Chipotle. Yeah.
It's so disappointing.
And that couldn't have been easy, because that's kind of crammed in by that big semi trailer.
Yeah.
It's got you pinched.
You don't have much room to get in there. Yeah.
And there's some angry raiders that they heading in the direction too.
Yeah, that's a tough area, because you got gunners, super mutants, and raiders all kind of right in that little corner there by Good Neighbor.
Yeah, I was going to say, where are we? We are directly due north of Good Neighbor, kind of up on the water.
Yeah.
Maybe off to the left side of the bridge, I think. But we're at the Old Corner bookstore. I knock and kindly walk in and see someone, I think named Clarissa. Clarissa is rummaging through a drawer or looking in an old till or something. And I kind of seem like I startle her and I interrupt her or something. But I offer to help her, and she exclaims, "Holy tricorn hat, blah, 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 blah." And I stopped in my tracks because my character is currently wearing a tricorn hat, so I was like, oh my god, did he somehow build it in? If your character is wearing a tricorn hat, that she will then use this line of dialogue. So I actually reloaded and went back and took off the hat and walked back in again, and she still said it. So it wasn't. But my mind was going to be blown if he had written in something that she would comment on, like the clothing I was wearing.
I'm not sure what she would have said to Max when he walked in with that Raider helmet on, with the spikes sticking out of the top.
Oh yeah, That's a cool looking helmet. I should have put on my elephant face. I got McCready in a big pack elephant helmet. I love those elephant helmets. And so I walk in. Clarissa looks like she's rummaging through something. She says the tricorn hat line. She says that she has a document or a receipt that talks about a missing caravan. She seems to be some sort of history buff. I don't know if she's a history student, but she's definitely a history fan. She makes all sorts of if you just talk to her and click through all of her dialogue, she makes lots of references to historical things around the city of Boston, and of course they're screwed up in that ever so cute Fallout way that Chris has gotten really good at weaving into his stories. But this document that she has found comments about a missing caravan who had Patriot memorabilia, and they were last seen near University Point. So she just was wondering if we could help out, because she actually says, "Oh, you look like you can handle yourself. You look like a regular old Minuteman." And then I was also like, wait a second, is that built into the line? Did she say that because Chris built it in so that she knows that that's the story I've been playing through? Or then I didn't want to reload and test that, but I'm assuming that no, it's probably also just a coincidence. Andrew, calm down.
And that would actually be more likely than what kind of hat you're wearing.
Yeah, that's
because your faction alliance is is part of your character makeup.
Yeah. But I would just be amazed if he could write that in. That'd be so fun. But anyway, they tell you to go find some evidence near University Point. So if you travel down there, you find off to the side a little makeshift football field that's been put in by Chris, by the mod Tales from the Commonwealth. When I showed up, I don't know how the mod is behaving for you guys, but of course I can't blame the mod, because I've messed up my character in this game and this save file in so many numerous ways by this point. But the ground and the whole cell was missing. It's like, ooh. It's like you walk to the edge and you can see the deep pit and the water that lies, 100 feet below the surface of the Commonwealth. But then I see before me like a bridge roll out. I was like, oh wait, that's just like a pit. Oh wait, there's like a little highway going underneath, and that's how you get to the other side. And then things in the background start popping up, and then the buildings start popping up, and things start coming. It was just really interesting that my game is so bogged down in such a weird way that as I approach the cell that the mod takes place in, it literally is loading like each piece one at a time. So I just sat there for it didn't take long. It all loaded in like 10 or 15 seconds, but it was kind of fun just because you can actually kind of see. Wow, this is what the modder is actually kind of digging through and looking at this stuff that's deep and hidden in beneath the game. They can see all this stuff, and they're building this level, this floor in front of you. Those bleachers, I don't know. They took the bleachers. I think there's a scene from Far Harbor that there's some bleachers at an outdoor area. There might be bleachers elsewhere in the game, probably at the racetrack. I'm assuming there's some there.
Yeah,
but I didn't recognize the exact scene that he pulled this stuff from. But you show up to this little field, and there's a super mutant sitting there on the bench. And at first I was like, oh crap, here, pull out your gun real quick. And then I vatsed him, and I noticed that he was, non-aggressive. I was like, okay, what's going on with this guy? So I walked up and I point my pointer at him, and it says, speak to Grogan. I'm like, Grogan? That's weird. That sounds familiar. And what kind of weird getup is the super mutant wearing? He's got like an old-timey football jersey when they were literally knit sweaters without shoulder pads, and a leather helmet with no face mask, and the weird thigh pads that when you're sitting down make it look like you're wearing a tutu, sort of. it's really weird, sort of Leatherheads type of football getup that he's got on. I'm like, Grogan, that's really funny. What that rings a bell. Oh, wait a second. The quest is called Patriots. She's sending me looking for Patriots memorabilia. There's a super mutant here holding a mini nuke like a football named Grogan, and there's 2 super mutants running up and down the field holding mini nukes, like stiff arming each other, just running back and forth. Each holding a mini nuke, which didn't make sense. Only one would hold a mini nuke while the other one tackled them, of course. But they were out there running around practicing, and it was just a funny little scene. They're wearing these old timey football stuff. So I got a nice little chuckle out of the scene you get there. But you approach Grogan. First of all, Ray, do you recognize the names of the super mutants right off? We have Grogan, we have Tuna, and we have Brewski. Do you recognize those guys?
Not even in the league.
It's a sports ball reference.
Yeah, sports ball.
New England Patriots sports ball.
Exactly. Steve Grogan was a long time really, like he had the reputation of being a really hard as nails quarterback, and quarterbacks always have the reputation of being wimps. So Steve Grogan was like he was a quarterback who had the reputation of just being like a real badass hard nail, and he like was a hero in New England Patriots history. He like took him to their first division championship, or I don't think they ever won the Super Bowl with Grogan, but
they did not.
Then there was Tuna mentioned, and that's got to be the coach. Bill Parcells. I almost blanked on his name there. That's the Big Tuna is the nickname for Bill Parcells, who was the coach for the Patriots at the time, and Brewski has got to be a reference to Teddy Bruschi, the linebacker for the Patriots, a long time, like 3 or 4 times Super Bowl champion, something like that. But those guys are out there playing, and it's really weird because Grogan is the one coaching them, and Tuna is out there playing on the field. Whereas if you actually check your references, Tuna should be the one sitting on the bench coaching those guys, and Grogan and Brewski should be out on the field. Grogan should be carrying the ball, and Brewski should be trying to tackle him. So if you want to be a technical with your fantastical super mutant football drills.
Well, and Grogan doesn't really mind if you kill Tuna and Brewski.
Yeah, I didn't do that right off the bat, but I was about to ask you what happens when you slaughter everyone, right?
Nothing.
That's pretty good. Right.
It's really kind of anticlimactic.
Yeah, they just kind of die. And what is in Big Tuna's what is in his inventory? Did you check his inventory?
Yeah, they're the deactivated nukes.
There's like 99 deactivated nukes, and those things still weigh a ton, right?
2 pounds each.
Do they?
Yeah.
Can you break them down into nuclear material, or are they junk?
No, they're just they show up in weapons.
Yeah, they show up in weapons instead of ammunition, which is fun.
That's worthless.
They're worth $40 a piece.
And how many?
40.
40.
Pretty good.
Not bad.
Yeah, that's 20 caps per pound.
That's a good ratio. But they are deactivated, so you can't really use them for any destructive purposes that I found, and they are the empty shells, according to a character that we are about to run into here in just a second. Ray, did you have any other things that need to be brought up before we dive into the basement? What sort of conversations?
No, he goes on about some kind of a football play.
Oh yeah, you're right. He said Grogan doesn't understand why you run a skinny deep post while they blitz, and that makes sense because if a player is blitzing, then you'd want your players to be coming back, not running a deep route. So they're actually throwing some real names of football plays. So Chris did a little bit of either he knows football or did a little bit of football research and knows that in situational defense football or in offense football, what you do when the defense blitzes. So good for you, Chris. At that point, Grogan offered me to meet the skinny man. Did you have any other interesting conversations in his dialogue tree, Ray?
No, that was about it.
So we off to the side. If you loop around the end of the touchdown zone, they were okay. When I said football field that they were using, it was literally 12.
The
12,
touchdown
15.
zone. The touchdown zone. Come on. Is
The
that what it's
touchdown.
is that what it's called? I don't think so.
Did I say touchdown zone?
You said touchdown zone. Had to call you out on that one, dude. Come on. Get your sports ball terms right.
Okay, I apologize if I did say that wrong, but I'm just
giving you shit, man.
The area where the field was literally 10 to 15 yards long. It wasn't like a football field. But anyway, so you're there in that little square patch of dirt. Those guys are practicing unless you've slaughtered them like Ray likes to. Not Tuna. Which one? The Grogan mentions you need to follow me into the basement. And you follow him around the end of the fence, but also, if you have 27 followers with you, they will constantly be getting dragged into fights all over the place because in different neighborhoods, you always have raiders and gunners and everyone just lurking around different buildings and super mutants and stuff. So my 27 followers, like, were trying to all fit into the basement. Of course, they lined up around the corner of the house, and then like a couple guys at the end of the line got dragged into a fight by gunners. So of course that drags everyone around, and they all turn and they run down the block. And you're like, guys, come on. Wait a second. We're doing something here. Leave the gunners alone. But anyway, so sometimes I follow them and get in fights, and sometimes if of course, if you just go into the door, that will automatically load and everyone will follow you in. So it's not like they won't come back. You can always get them. And whatever. If I have 27, I can afford to lose a couple followers here and there. So
you're bringing half a football team with you.
Yeah, on a 53-man roster, you got to have at least 27 with you to build a good solid offense to have good backups and everything. So we're into the basement here, and we are introduced by Grogan to someone that Grogan refers to as the Skinny Man. And the Skinny Man was the person who named Grogan. Once you go through the storm cellar door into the basement, Skinny Man was the last member of the caravan that Clarissa was explaining earlier had Patriot memorabilia. Skinny is the last member alive of Brady's bandwagon, which I got a chuckle out of that. Of course, a reference to Tom Brady and the bandwagon of people who, of course, support him. But they used to go from town to town teaching little kids football, which I thought was really fun. They used to teach kids the old-style American way to play football. And he toured with a musician friend. And that musician friend was later killed. But now he teaches super mutants instead of children, this skinny guy. I'm going to need... Ray, do you remember exactly what happened with this musician friend? It's like raiders killed him just like in the middle of when they were traveling somewhere. And
yeah, because they would go around and play fight songs.
Okay.
So they'd set up. They would football. Yeah, Skinny and Brady would set up and play fight songs. And that would attract people to the caravan, and they'd sell them crap.
Sell them Patriots memorabilia. Nice. But anyway, some raiders killed the musician friend, Brady, one day. And so Skinny continued on. But super mutants actually kidnapped Skinny because they thought that Skinny was supplying gunners with... ammunition and stuff like that. And those gunners were giving super mutants trouble. So the super mutants thought that since he was supplying the gunners, that they would kidnap him and that would prevent the gunners from having supplies. But of course, he had nothing to do with it. And they kidnapped him anyway. And let's see. He had empty shells of nukes. And they used those to play football, and the super mutants were like, I'm really interested in this because this is the man who can catch a mini nuke and not go boom. The super mutants were so stupid that they didn't understand that Skinny, this guy, was actually using these mini nukes who were just empty shells. They didn't have any of the explosives in them at all. So the super mutants were fooled into thinking, we shouldn't kill this Skinny because he has the power to catch many nukes with his bare hands and not have them blow up. And we need to know how to do that. We need him to teach us how to learn this skill. So please teach us this master martial art called football. So Skinny goes in and starts teaching these super mutants how to play football, and they're under the impression that if they learn how to play football, that they'll be able to catch mini nukes in their bare hands without having them explode, so that they can be the ultimate power in the wasteland. I thought this was a really well written and funny little quest. So they were thinking that the Skinny, they call him Skinny. Actually, this is funny. Why they named him Skinny was because he's the opposite of a fat man. He's a skinny man, so he's going to be the remedy for a fat man. I thought that was pretty intelligent. But the friend found a letter and tried to pass it off as Touchdown Tom, the greatest patriot who ever lived. At that point, the quest pops up that you're supposed to find something. It just says something to take back to Clarissa, the history buff and artifact collector that you found at the corner bookstore. And at that point, you just kind of poke around. What is your scene like that you have down here in the basement? You have Skinny, and there's a bunch of super mutants sitting around. What is your scene like down there, Ray?
It's like the training room. He's got the chalkboard and everything, but there's mini nukes laying everywhere, and not a lot of other junk. There were a couple of things I picked up after I had gotten everything I needed to from Bill, and then kind of cleaned house a little bit, and if I had more space in my inventory, I could have carried off
a ton and many nukes from there.
I mean, it would have been like,
there's like cases of them,
20 or 30,000 of these things. They're everywhere.
Oh, yeah. And
each one of the super mutants has 99 of them.
Oh God, that's funny. There's a couple of named super mutants down there, and there's like a locker room, like Ray mentioned. There's a chalkboard where they're teaching plays. Skinny's up at the front of the room, and there's wooden benches facing the chalkboard. A few of the super mutants are milling about. There's Grogan, of course, who you follow down in there, and then there's also Gronk, which is a great name for a super mutant, and also because he is a current New England Patriots player who has the reputation of just being a huge doofus, bumbling idiot. He's an excellent football player, but just sort of like a goofball partier, always getting into in some sort of trouble sort of thing. So it's actually funny because Gronk is totally the super mutant of the NFL, and they wrote that into this quest. Also a nice little nod there. So what is going on here with Touchdown Tom and this letter? There's a letter from the greatest patriot ever lived. There's an almanac and all this sort of stuff. I didn't quite understand what the quest was trying to push me to do at this point, but once I found the letter, it said that okay, you have found something that you can take back to Clarissa. But who gave me the almanac? Did Skinny give me the almanac?
Yeah, he gives it to you when you ask him about it. If he's got anything.
I was gonna say, what sort of conversations did we have with Skinny, Ray? Do you remember anything?
I mean, not much. I mean, you ask him if he's got anything left over, and he gives you that stuff. But there really isn't a lot of dialogue around it.
Yeah. So there, at this point, where we have however many nukes that you can carry, and you've got a letter and a sports almanac. And then my quest says, okay, that's enough. You can take that stuff back to Clarissa, back to the bookstore. And I tried to fast travel, and my game froze, so I had to reload. I tried to fast travel again, game froze, had to reload. So at this point, I'm saying, all right, this has happened enough times. I'm going to stop trying to fast travel. So we hoof it back up. Granted, it's not that far. Just you got to pass by a good neighbor, got to pass by the university and stuff like that. But it's not too far of a jog up the way there. We get back to the bookstore, and I actually played this both ways, Ray, because the first time you have the option of giving her the letter, but not giving her the almanac. And can you explain to me what she does or does not learn based on whether you do or do not give her the almanac and the letter? It's optional. You can give her the letter itself or the letter and the almanac. Did you understand that web, what was going on right there?
Yeah, I didn't really pay too much attention to it. It was, it was kind of vague. She makes a couple of comments about how, there wasn't anything really historical about it, and she basically gives you everything back. So, it was kind of interesting because initially when she's rummaging through the boxes when you first meet her, she's talking about finding information about Thomas.
Yeah.
And so, of course, you think, Thomas Jefferson or Thomas Paine or something like that. And so,
the true patron.
Yeah, when they start talking about Tom Brady, and I'm thinking, seriously, is that really what she was looking for?
Wow. That's really fun observation,
yeah.
Ray.
It was, yeah. I mean, she was kind of, not really excited and said that she'd have to keep looking.
Yeah. She was looking for some actual historical thing, and she actually was really pissed. She was like, "What? He's just some sort of stupid galoot sports player thing? That's so dumb. He's not the greatest Thomas in Boston history." And that was funny. But depending on what you give her, she gives you stuff in return. Let's see. The first time I did not give her the almanac, I gave her the letter only, and then she in return gave me a bowler hat of no particular concern, just a plain old normal bowler hat. And I was like, this is bullshit. That's no reward at all. What did she give you if you gave her the almanac and the letter, right?
She gives you a championship ring, which is worth 400 caps. Right.
And that's it doesn't give you like a
not a thing.
A smug ability to lie.
No.
To
doesn't
cheat.
Give you a ball pump or anything.
Yeah. So this is an obvious tongue-in-cheek quest out the ass about Deflategate and Tom Brady. If you read the letter itself that she is reading for the artifact, that letter is the letter that Tom Brady wrote to the press after the commissioner had announced the punishment for Deflategate. It is the same exact letter, just reworded just a little bit to fit the parameters of the game. So I just thought that was really funny because I actually remember that because I listen to a little bit of sports ball news every now and again, and of course everyone is sick and tired. Even people who don't pay attention to football heard about Deflategate. You know what I mean? And people who pay attention to football, we were just dead sick of it. But that letter, I recognized like line for line because I heard it read too many 100,000 times. But it was just funny that Chris wrote that in. And this was not a very adventurous quest. There's not a whole lot of fighting. There was no like charisma convincing people. There was no sneaking or lying. There was no, killing.
I mean, and really, there was no satisfaction whatsoever in killing everybody.
And there's no payoff for Ray for being an awful murderer. There was really no benefit.
I felt kind of bad when all I had to do was give one whack of the lucky sword, and Clarissa was gone.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you take Clarissa out too? I assume. I hope.
Of course.
Did she have any? Did she have any interesting historical memorabilia on her?
No, all she had was a few caps, some 38 ammo, and a pipe pistol.
Interesting. I would hope that she would have like a cool copy of Thomas Paine's Common Sense or something, like you mentioned earlier.
Yeah. Not a thing.
Oh. Okay, so I don't remember. I think it's probably a base of around 400 since my intelligence is higher. I got around 500 XP for completion of that quest. Strategy wise, I didn't really have to use my character role in any particular way. There wasn't, like I mentioned, there wasn't much fighting or convincing or anything. In the quest.
It was
sort of
definitely a very pointed quest at expressing whatever feelings he had about the New England Patriots.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's great. Thank you for your help getting me through that, Ray.
See, I wish I'd played that quest because the Patriots are my football team, so I would have loved playing that.
Are you mad at me if I rag on Tom Brady and call him?
No. Hey, with that many Super Bowl rings, rag all you want.
No, yeah, I know. I can't. I can't really give him too hard of a time. He is probably the. I hate to admit it, being a hater and all, but it probably is. Can I say the greatest player ever? I can't. I cannot let myself say that. I'm sorry, Leon. But being in Texas, why on earth are you a Patriots fan? That doesn't make any sense. You got Texans and Cowboys down there, brother.
I used to be a Cowboys fan years ago, but then Jerry Jones bought the team, and I didn't like that. So after that, I spent some time looking for a new team and eventually settled on the Patriots. Plus, it really infuriates all the Cowboys fans down here, which is just a bonus feature.
You are Brady's bandwagon. When that right there is referring to you, right?
Actually, I became a fan back when they originally went to the Super Bowl with the Chicago Bears. That was I like the Bears more, Super Bowl shuffle and everything, but I like the Patriots too.
Was that horrible '85 Bears defense that shut everybody down?
Yeah, and Jim McMahon with his headbands.
Oh, what a cool guy! What a cool guy! No Steve Grogan, but what a cool guy. All right, great. Again, thank you, Ray, for helping me through Patriots. I hope everyone enjoyed that. Speaking of Patriots, we just got a couple more quests to get through this evening. We, I guess, Nuka World is pretty much a nice little bow wrapped up for Nuka World. Ray, if you, I don't know, you said something else popped up besides cleaning house, didn't you? Did you say something else besides cleaning house?
But there's a series of characters that will come through the gauntlet, and so you, as the overboss, have to go take them out.
That's right.
So I got the first one of those that popped up, and they get progressively harder and harder as you go.
Can you not recruit them to be in your army or whatever?
No, you got to kill them.
Or you can ignore it. You don't have. It's not a man. You can just ignore the quest. You can.
I've been ignoring it for several quests now. So
isn't there an option? Can't you tell the quest giver to take care of them or something, and they just like kill them in the gauntlet?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't
because you get the you get the if you go talk to the guy in the I think it's the guy in the arcade who gives you that, and you can fight him right away. You can fight him later. I think you can. I think there's 4 choices, and I think one of them is just like you kill him in the gauntlet, and I'm not going to bother fighting him.
Yeah, that's one of the choices you can have him do. It's like make arrangements so they don't survive.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. So we're closing up Nuka World, and we just did Patriots for our Tales from the Commonwealth. And gentlemen, that just means we have one more episode for this season 3 of the Fallout Roundtable. Next time we get together, we will discuss the Tales from the Commonwealth quest, 3 Little Wastelanders. And Atoms Glow, and that will close us out for the entire season. And then we will have one more feedback session. So hopefully all of our play along fellas will get their stuff together and send us in some nice feedback. It doesn't necessarily just have to be about these two quests, but just your overall impression of the whole season, your ins and outs, any side quests that you did that you didn't mention in any of your playthroughs, how your special roles started out, if you let that influence you through the whole game, or if you ended up drifting back towards what was more normal to you. We'd just like to hear about your whole general experience with how the roundtable worked out for you guys, because we had a few new play along guys this season. So and it's been wonderful feedback so far this year. We've had lots of great interaction, and people have been really dedicated and sent stuff in every week. So we really appreciate that. But let's keep up the good work, and of course it's building up lots of momentum towards our next project, which will be probably starting late August, early September, maybe mid-September. I'm not quite sure. We haven't set a timetable for our start date yet. But Pat, we will be getting into the Fallout New Vegas roundtable here very soon. Are you excited? You're pretty much going to be our lead on this. You're gonna take us on a walkthrough for
it's gonna be diggity. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, we're gonna so Ray has thoughtfully built out a random character generator. I know we've got a few folks already playing around with it, so that's great for anybody who's played around with that. We will once we're sort of final with everything, we will post the link and people can go start grabbing their random characters. So Ray, thank you for coding that up. Very, very helpful to have that.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure. And we're going to have a random special. Now, your special points in New Vegas, you get a lot more special points to start.
Yeah.
You get like
40.
3 6s and 2 5s, whatever that works out to be.
40. You get a whole 40 to
start.
Up
from 28 that you get in Fallout 4. Now part of the reason that is because you don't have unlimited ability to juice your special. You can buy implants to get a certain number of specials higher, and you can take in the intense training perk. But I think it's 10 levels of intense training. So in Fallout 4, you can get as many specials as you want, up to 10 or even 11 if you do the bobbleheads. But that doesn't work out that way in New Vegas. So you start out with a little more, but then you're capped out. There's a hard cap at 10. You can't get over 10 no matter what you do.
I have a level 13 character going in New Vegas. Like, I'm trying to rush through real quick and get just a general idea before we run the roundtable. But I believe that every opportunity that's been given to me, I've taken that intensive training perk or whatever, and I've just leveled up all my.
You can do whatever. Obviously, do whatever you want to. You don't really, you don't really need to get a bunch of specials up. I mean, New Vegas, the perks. If there's a specific, in some cases there may be a specific perk, but the perks you don't need. It's not like you need 10 special to get certain perks. So you have everything works differently. You have your special points, then you have your skills, and then you have your perks.
And then your traits too.
And you have traits, right? That's right.
There's too many categories. Like, I'm glad they cleaned it.
But it's actually
like, that's 4 different categories of shit, man.
But it's simpler though, because in Fallout 4 you've got 70 things that you can try to pick from, and in New Vegas the traits. There's only 2 traits, 0, 1, or 2, that you do them at character startup, and then you don't have to do them again.
Yeah.
And then your skill points are more kind of automatic. You get a certain level of skill points just automatically when you start based on your special, and then you add to those as the game goes along.
And specials themselves, Pat, are not exactly the same like they are in 4. Can you explain to me the differences between each category of special? That the differences it is between
special and special. I mean, I'm not sure what you mean. I mean, it's the same. They mean the same thing. I mean, there's exactly the same 7 special categories.
Yes, but for instance, my first New Vegas character that I was running on my PlayStation 3 that got really bogged down and sort of melted down before I bought it for my Xbox, started playing with that. I was dumping all my points into perception because I was under the impression that, again, it's going to be exactly like Fallout 4, where your perception and your agility are what you want to dump everything into if you're going to do a VATS build, because you want your accuracy through perception to be as high as possible, and then you want as many shots as possible through your agility. So you want to do your perception and agility for a VATS build. And then I was flipping through when I was doing my when I loaded it on the Xbox, I was building my character. I was like, okay, I'm going to pump up my perception as high as I possibly can. And then I noticed it does not say anything about your VATS accuracy going up in the description of perception in New Vegas. And in Fallout 4, that is part of it in perception. So I think there are slight differences in the...
Sure, of course, yeah. What
else is different besides that I need to know?
There's going to be a lot of little differences like that that you just want to. And remember, the game tells you all that, so it's not like you have to be blind with this. You can go into the game when you're doing your character creation. It will tell you go to the grip test meter, and it'll tell you, like, here's what it does, and you can talk to the doc. What's this spec? You can talk to the doctor, and he'll tell you. So there's a tutorial. It will tell you this stuff. It's not like you have to guess.
Yeah,
you can't just guess. So and
I just didn't know if you offhand knew any other examples of how they're just slightly different from games.
Not offhand. It's just I was reading this in one of the, I think it was actually one of the Reddit post threads. New Vegas is pretty forgiving. It's not like and you don't have to sort of fine tune things necessarily quite as much. Fallout 4, you really rewards min-maxing your character build, and you can do it in Fallout New Vegas, no question, if you want to. But because you get more special points to start with, you can have 6 and or take a couple of those and make them 7 whatever, and it's pretty forgiving. If you want to do very specific things, you might want to min-max your character. Like if you want to play if you get a role where you play the dumb low intelligence and you want to do the dumb role, that's a lot of fun. You get special dialogue options, and it's pretty amusing.
Yeah.
But I mean that's a rare example of a reason why you kind of would want to do that. But of course, if you're gonna play a melee build, you want 9 or 10 strength, but you don't have to have 10. It's not like in Fallout 4, if you want to be melee build, you very likely want to get 9 strength at least and get rooted, because rooted is awesome for a melee build.
Still never done that.
If you want to do agility, you probably want to do 9 agility and do blitz, right? So, but it's not as sort of like you really must have that. Like you can have several 8s and a couple 4s and have a lot of fun with that or whatever. And then I think the way things play out is I mean there are definitely, here's one example, like you want to get the comprehension perk that gives you, and so in New Vegas, in 4, I think everybody listens probably has played 4, you get magazines which give you specific small little perks, like if you get the covert ops, you get a little bit of bonus to your sneak, or if you get the Massachusetts Surgical Journal, you get a little bit of bonus to limb damage, and the scav from Nuka World or whatever. But in New Vegas, there's books and there's magazines, and the magazines give
that's
you
another
10 points of temporary skill boost, whereas the books give you 2 points of permanent skill boost. But if you have the comprehension perk, you get 3 points. So that's an example. If your intelligence is good enough, you want to grab that comprehension perk early on, because it'll let you it'll let you drive your skills up more by picking up those books that you find scattered through the wastelands. And there's just little things like that. There's plenty of lists if you want to. So when we do the roundtable, we're going to specify special. We're going to specify your traits, and we're going to specify your tag skills, which are the ones that you get higher bonus on. But after that, we're going to leave it wide open. We're going to let people pick their own perks. And we are going to specify what else, Ray? We're going to do companion.
Yep, companion.
Faction. Yeah, so you're going to do.
And we're not going to. Yeah.
So you're going to do Legion
Sorry,
or
and the
NCR
schedule-
or Mr. House or Yes Man. Those are the 4 factions. But beyond that, we're going to try to leave it kind of open, let people just say have some fun with it.
Yeah, and we're not going to specifically assign the quest to. We're not going to build that into the schedule, but we want to hear each specific quest because one thing in the in New Vegas is each of them has like a little bit of a quest that goes along with acquiring them. So please, everyone, we're still hammering out the schedule a little bit. We might actually start the season with just the first half of it hammered down, and once we sort of determine what the pacing is, then we'll get the second half of the schedule published once we figure out actually what's going on there. But so we have a bunch of different factions that we need to figure out because they all have similar sort of storyline, or the storyline sort of crisscross. They're doing similar things with similar factions. So we've got to line those things up so that those happen at the same week. But we want to be careful not to have too many quests to discuss and any given time. We don't want to go too many over 3 or 4 because, we only had 2 quests tonight and we're already at like a 2-hour show. So, we're all long-winded and we all like to talk. So we don't want to try to have to cover too much material and have the actual material suffer. You know what I mean? So we're going to hammer out the schedule a little bit, figure out pacing. So you guys don't get antsy. We'll have the first half of the schedule out. I'll get that published onto the webpage here in the next week or 2. Just so everyone can sort of have an idea about what we're going to do. But the second half, we'll leave it up in the air a little bit for now. Like Pat said, we're gonna play a little loosey-goosey, but we'll determine where we're going and we'll let everyone know. The character.
No, there's going to be plenty of chances to play side quests if you want to, and
Yes.
like you say, Andrew, we'll probably fill most of the show chatter with kind of the main quest line and the different factions and everything, and our companion quests. But there's a lot of really good side quests in New Vegas. So I think people that have played it before, I'm sure we'll find something new with the roundtable format. And people that haven't played it before. Oh, by the way, if you don't have the game, couple options.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
You can, of course, for PC, you can get it on Steam. You can also get it if you don't like Steam or if you want a non-DRM version. Good Old Games is. I have no idea what the prices are. Not recommending one over the other. But Good Old Games does have a DRM free option for I think both 3 and New Vegas if you prefer that. The reason, if you don't already own one, some people might prefer the DRM free game because supposedly the DRM free version sometimes for some people works better on I think Windows 10 for PC. I think it's backwards compatible on Xbox One. So if you find a used copy of the game, you can it's backwards compatible on your Xbox One. We are not going to do any DLC in the roundtable, although the DLC do add some weapon options. If you get the gold edition or ultimate edition or some of that, whatever the thing is, you get some additional weapon options and things like that are pretty handy.
I want you to be careful about saying that we're not going to do the DLC on the roundtable.
In this roundtable.
This season we'll just be doing the main quest of New Vegas.
In the future, who knows? I definitely agree. We may want to run through some of the DLC in the future.
I'm just warning people out there. So when you are getting the disc, don't just get the normal game. Get the Ultimate Edition. The Ultimate Edition has all. Was it 4, 5? It has a ton of DLCs.
4 DLC plus
a bunch of packs
the
too.
Packs, the gun runners. Because when you the way they did it, when if you bought it from Best Buy, you got 1 pack. If you bought it from GameStop, you got 1 pack, and Amazon had a different pack. But then the Ultimate Edition or the Game of the Year Edition or whatever has all the packs. So what that means is the packs added some additional vendor weapon. There's the Gun Runners Arsenal pack that adds some different weapons, and you also get some starting equipment. Like if you have the what's one of the packs?
Tribal pack.
Yeah, the tribal pet. Yeah, you get like some tribal. You get some little starter items. Not nothing particularly OP, but it lets your character start out with.
I thought
Just
one
a
of
few
them was
little
a
basics.
grenade launcher. Doesn't one of them?
Yeah. You do get the. I think that's GRA, the Gun Runner's Arsenal, that gives you the grenade launcher.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, I
That's
think
the
New Vegas in
mercenary
some
pack.
respects is like easier than 4 in some, but I think there's also I think for me personally, I think there's kind of more ways to play it, in terms of, more speech options, and and there's not as many crafting options, but you can do crafting. You can there's no settlement building in the base game. I think there's some mods that add settlement building, but there is crafting, and there's the hardcore mode, which is basically the same thing as survival mode in Fallout 4. So a lot of familiar options if you can play the game different ways.
Excellent. Well, I'm trying to burn through a playthrough. I'm having a great time. I'm excited to get into the game. It has the reputation of being one of the, if not the best game in the series. So I'm excited to.
It's funny, every now and then you'll see somebody online who's a real, like, you'll see somebody say they like 3 best, but typically, I think either New Vegas or 4 tends to be, one of those two tends to be the favorite game.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like the guy who goes onto the Star Wars forums and is like, Empire sucks. It's got to be.
Phantom Menace is the best, man.
Yeah. Deep
Space
Nine
rock.
Is Deep Space Nine your show? I've actually heard people trash that.
There's a lot of people that like Deep Space Nine best.
Oh, nice, cool.
Yeah, just because it kind of gets a little more philosophical toward the later seasons and stuff. But
great. You guys have any other stuff that you wanted to get into this evening?
I think this was a great chance to catch up on these quests. So
yeah, it was great. I just wanted to
mention for hopping on.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention a couple more things really quickly. Any Nintendo Switch owners out there and Mario Kart enthusiasts, we are starting up a Mario Kart League. So if you are interested in that, we're going to start exchanging friend numbers and do a couple of friendly practice runs first before we organize and try to determine how this league is going to run. And we will have a fun ASA podcasting prize for the winner of this league at the end. So if you're interested, I know there's already 3 or 4 people who have expressed interest with me online. Get to us on, I don't know. Should I have them contact like Jeremy through the ASA Game Talk, or us through the Fallout feed? Maybe I'll have to start our own ASA Mario Kart email or something.
You might want a Mario Kart email. That may, if you guys are going to really do this seriously, that might be the best.
Yeah, I might have to set up I'll let you guys know if I set up a ASA Mario Kart email. But so this will be really fun. So everyone get your Switches out. I don't know if it's possible, because I know that the game exists on the Wii U. I don't know that they cross-platform it where you can also play against people on Wii U, or if it's just Switch network only. I'm assuming it's Switch network only. So sorry, Wii U, but I haven't really played with it, so I don't know how it works yet. But we'll hammer stuff out later. Everyone, just keep your ear to the ground about this. I'm really excited. So if everyone would like to hit me back on that, that would be really great if we can get that project. Trying to get, I don't know, maybe 8 to 12. I think it has to be a multiple of 4 in order to make brackets and stuff like that work for a tournament style with racing and stuff. But yeah, Mario Kart League, ASA podcasting. It'll be really fun. Hope everyone checks it out. Also, Jeremy, who was in the YouTube chat earlier, if he's still around, we were sort of tentatively talking about maybe starting back up. A couple of years ago, we had an ASA podcasting fantasy football league, and everyone named their teams from different cities around Skyrim, and it was all Skyrim theme. But he was talking about starting that back up again, and I said, oh, please, if you would enjoy that, maybe we can start doing that. So there is speak of another fantasy football league happening for ASA podcasting. I know that's sort of a weird crossing of cultures here, but we do have our good share of sports fans in our group. So if you're interested in that, express some interest in the Facebook group or to us on Twitter, and we'll start trying to take names. If we get enough people and enough interest in, if Jeremy wants to sort of wrangle this whole mess, then maybe we'll toss another fantasy football league together. So that might be fun.
Is that football with the round ball or the oblong ball?
It's the underinflated one. It's the deflated one. The oblong one.
Okay. In America, we only have one football. The other one's called soccer.
The footy bally, I think they call it. What do you call it, Pat?
Footy. If something put footy, you hear footy. Footy's a thing.
That head ball. You call it head ball?
No, it's footy. It's soccer. It's football. Whatever.
The football. Yes, so please join us next time when we will cover the Quest 3 Little Wastelanders and Adam's Glow to end out the season for us, and then we will have our feedback episode the week after. I believe that's all I have for the evening. We are going to play our sign-off song this evening, and then just like last time, we're going to roll into yet another episode of King of the Bunker Hill. You people on YouTube are welcome to stick around and listen to it, or we can listen to it later in podcast form, however you would like to. We appreciate it. Thank you again, Susan, our host of King of the Bunker Hill, for hosting our lovely show. This episode will feature Ray and new contestant Jack. So will Ray be able to defend his title? We will find out very soon, won't we? So I'm going to get our sign out music all queued up here. And as I do that, I would like to thank everyone for tuning in with us. We have Ray. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
Pleasure as always.
And Leon, sir, thank you so much for hopping on with us again. It's always a pleasure to hear from you.
Well, thanks for having me back.
Yes, sir. And Pat, always a pleasure.
Andrew, thanks for driving the show. Talk to you guys next time.
Thanks, everyone, for tuning in, and we will see you in the wasteland.
Bye, y'all.
Thank you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com. For the Roundtable schedule, our Amazon link, and all other show information, please head on over to asapodcasting.com, where you will find the Fallout Feed, a Skyrimatic podcast, our YouTube channel, the Chatterbox, as well as other content. Once again, thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the wasteland.
Live from Vault 97, it's the King of the Bunker Hill Quiz Show Challenge. It's the show where contestants compete to come back week after week to see who can collect the most Funko mystery minifigures. Brought to you by the Fallout Feed and ASA Podcasting. And now, your host, Susan.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and ghouls, and those who would declare otherwise. Welcome to another thrilling edition of King of the Bunker Hill, the show that seeks to find out who the most erudite explorer in all the wasteland is. Today, we have with us he's a champion of champions as far as I'm concerned. We have Ray. Ray, how are you this fine evening?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Excellent. So, I mean, we're at four victories on the trot now. I mean, you must be feeling pretty good.
Thank you. I've been fortunate.
I think that's just modesty there. I think you're an incredibly knowledgeable guy about this stuff. Surely by now you're going to have to clear quite some considerable shelf space to get all those Funko minifigures on display.
I'm going to have to get serious about that.
I think you are. Maybe display case, perhaps. Can you get one of those little ones that we keep our bobbleheads on? Maybe put your little figures on that. That'd be nice. I think that would look good in any vault. Okay. Well, Ray, I have to tell you, you've got a good competitor with you this week. We've got Jack, and according to his application form to be on the show, Jack is the person who makes brand new mattresses, yet for some reason they look completely filthy, like they've been used by a hobo in a back alley. So, Jack, would you like to talk to us about that? Your career in mattress manufacture.
Well, we do a lot of good manufacture, but we've had a very bad problem with ghouls getting into our warehouse.
Ah, that makes sense.
So you could see how the cleanup would be a little ridiculous.
Absolutely, yes. It always is a bit of a mystery to me, because you sort of purchase something that you think is a nice new, or in fact you've supposedly are manufacturing, and then it just looks, well, quite frankly, very, very unhygienic. So good to know that you have a feral ghoul problem. I'm assuming they're feral, because I don't think regular ghouls would be quite so inconsiderate.
It depends on our client base.
Okay, because I mean, I personally would pay more for a clean mattress. Is that something you offer?
Absolutely. I mean, we always like to deliver to our customers, and honestly, we probably have the cleanest mattresses in all of the wasteland.
Okay, because I'm looking for some kind of I think I need a new mattress. I'm getting a bit of a lower lumbar pain there. I think I need something pocket sprung, so I might have to be speaking to you after the show, so don't go away. But anyway, how are you feeling about taking part in tonight's show? Are you ready? I know you expressed a bit of some nerves before you came on here, especially going up against the Titan, that is Ray, but Jim, I think you'll be okay. So how's the confidence levels? Feeling good?
Feeling all right.
Okay, excellent.
We'll have to topple that Titan and raise you a behemoth.
Absolutely, because Titans will fall eventually. So let's fingers crossed for you, Jack, and we will see how it goes. Well, Jack, as you are the competitor, the challenger rather, you will be going on first. So Ray, once again, I'm going to ask you to go back to that oh so familiar place of yours, the soundproof booth, and give me a signal when you are there.
All right.
Just making his way to the special booth. Okay, he is ready to go. All right, Jack, let's get ready. Let's get ready to rumble, as they say in some sports. Okay, question 1. Name the unique Gauss rifle with base damage of 192, which becomes available to be purchased from Ronnie Shaw after the Minuteman quest Old Guns in Fallout 4.
Oh.
So,
from Ronnie Shaw?
Ronnie Shaw, I mean, I may be pronouncing it wrong, because it's Gauss rifle, Gauss.
Gauss rifle.
Gauss rifle, there you go. Gauss rifle with a base damage of 192, which is from Ronnie Shaw after the Minuteman quest Old Guns in Fallout 4.
Oh, geez.
If I give you the clue, I'll give you is it's quite an aptly named weapon, given that who you're doing the quest for.
It's. I am completely unsure.
How about just give me a throw a name out there? Just have a guess, because we like people to have guesses on this show.
I have to think about it. The Stars and Stripes.
Final answer?
Sure.
Okay, I am afraid that is incorrect. Yes, the correct answer is The Last Minute. So you were a third, right? Okay, never mind. That's okay. Shake that off. Let's move straight on to question 2. 2180. The Minutemen defended Diamond City from which baddies at the Battle of Diamond City?
2180?
Yeah, 2180.
Super mutants?
That is correct. Well done. That's big tick there. That is correct. It was indeed the super mutants. So
Excellent.
It's okay. 1 out of 2, and that ain't bad. Question 3. Who is the top director, designer, and executive producer at the Bethesda Game Studios?
The top producer?
Yeah, the top director, designer, and executive producer at
that's
Bethesda.
Todd Howard.
That is correct. Well done. Hey, 2 out of 3. We're on a roll. That's it. You've built up a nice head of steam now. Let's keep that going into question 4. In which Fallout 4 location do we find a cultural reference to the Cask of Amontillado, a famous Edgar Allan Poe story? So that is the Cask of Amontillado.
Is it the castle?
It is the castle. Well done. Okay. There we go. We've got 3 out of 4. Excellent stuff. Let's keep it going. One more. Let's get 5. Okay, question 5. Name the bar in Fallout 4 that references the TV show Cheers.
Oh my gosh. The bar in. I gotta think about that.
It's okay. I'll give you a little bit of time. Have a little bit of time there. From my recollection, I don't think it's one of the most popular bars, but it is nonetheless featured in Fallout 4.
Is it the Prost bar?
It is the Prost bar. Excellent stuff. You have got 4 out of 5, Jack. And considering
That makes sense because Prost is German for cheers.
it is indeed. Well done. So there you go. Logic. Bit of logic use there. Excellent stuff. Okay, so 4 out of 5. Well done. That's really good. But I'm still going to give you the tiebreaker question though. So, okay. As you've probably explained to you before the show, I don't expect a bang on accurate answer. Just as close as you can get. And all right. Then this is a doozy. Okay. Here's a tiebreaker question. How many unmarked locations exist in the base game of Fallout 4?
Unmarked locations?
Unmarked locations, which I assume means locations for you to discover, as opposed to that you start off with. You don't start off with many.
I'm gonna go with 115.
115. Okay, brilliant. Well, I'm not going to tell you the answer for this one. I'm going to get Ray back in here. But Jack, hey, 4 out of 5. Again, considering you were nervous before you came in here, that is an absolutely fantastic score. So you deserve a good pat on the back. But you can take a seat now and watch Ray sweat for a bit. So let's bring Ray back on in. Ray, are you with us yet? So have you left the booth? Because I can't see him. Oh, have we got Ray?
I'm back.
Hey, Ray. Okay. Right. I can tell you, Ray, that Jack, he's done well. He has done well. So the pressure is on you. But here we go, Ray. Let's go straight in to question 1. Name the unique Gauss rifle with base damage of 192, which becomes available to be purchased from Ronnie Shaw after the Minuteman quest, Old Guns in Fallout 4. Gauss is spelled Gauss, and I'm sorry, I cannot remember how to pronounce it from last time.
That's all right. I don't know.
Okay, I'll give you the same clue as I gave Jack, which is that it's quite an aptly named weapon given the quest. Or who the quest is for, rather. Any ideas? Take a stab. Anything.
The Admiral.
It is not the Admiral. I'm afraid that is incorrect. It is the Last Minute. Yeah, the Last Minute. But okay, never mind. It's okay. Shake it off. Let's move straight on to question 2. In 2180, the Minutemen defended Diamond City from which baddies at the very well named Battle of Diamond City?
Super Mutants.
That is correct. Well done. We are on the scoreboard. Okay, moving straight on to question 3. Who is the top director, designer, and executive producer at the Bethesda Game Studios?
Todd Howard.
That is also correct. Well done. We have your 2 out of 3. Okay, into question 4. In which Fallout 4 location do we find a cultural reference to the Cask of Amontillado, a famous Edgar Allan Poe story? Any ideas?
I can't remember. I'll go with Pickman Gallery.
Okay, I'm afraid that is incorrect. The correct answer is the castle. The castle. Okay. All right, so we got 2 out of 4. Okay, question 5. Name the bar in Fallout 4 that references the TV show Cheers.
Have you been posted this before?
I think I gave the same clue I gave to Jack because it's not one of the most popular bars in the game.
No. I can't think of the name of it.
What? Have a stab. Just throw one of the bars out there.
No, I got nothing.
Okay. Well, that is incorrect. The correct answer is the Prost Bar. That is the Prost Bar. Okay, so that is 3 out of 5. Thank you, Andrew Bott. That is 3 out of 5. Okay, but here is that could be very important tiebreaker. So here is the tiebreaker, Ray. How many unmarked locations exist in the base game of Fallout 4?
I'll go with 45.
45. Okay. All right. Well, that is the end of that round. As we've got Jack in the room with us, I have to say, I'm sorry to tell you, Ray, that this week's winner is Jack. He scored a stonking 4 out of 5.
Oh,
so,
nice.
Well done. We have a new champion. Wow. Jack, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. I didn't think I'd know a bunch of those.
I know you were very nervous before, but hey, you've been fantastic. And Ray, you have been a most excellent competitor. It's been a real pleasure playing with you. So it's been great.
Thank you.
But before we go, let's see how we were with that. So the tiebreaker was how many unmarked locations exist in the base game of Fallout 4? Now, Jack, you said 115?
Yes.
And Ray, you went 45.
Yep.
I have to tell you that the correct answer is 132. So, yeah, a stunningly large amount of locations. So, yeah, technically, Jack, that would have made you the winner on the tiebreak. So, well done again for that. So, your Fallout knowledge is pretty exemplary, if you ask me. But as I said, thank you very much, Ray. You have been this absolutely fantastic competitor, and it's been a real pleasure having you on the show each week. And Jack, I look forward to meeting you next time. So you better start clearing some space in your trophy cabinet for all those Funko minifigures.
I will definitely be doing that.
Excellent. All right, guys. Well, that is the end of today's show. And I have to say goodbye to all the listeners and goodbye to my contestants. And we will see you guys next time in the King of the Bunker Hill, brought to you by the Fallout Feed and ASA Podcasting. Stay safe out there.
Thank you for listening to this edition of the King of the Bunker Hill Quiz Show Challenge, brought to you by the Fallout Feed and ASA Podcasting. Join Susan next time to see who will win the coveted Funko Mystery Minifigures and be crowned King of the Bunker Hill. Thank you, everyone who's still sticking around in the YouTube chat. It was a lot of fun hanging out tonight. And thanks, everyone. We'll see you in the wasteland. Bye-bye.